Hello, it is Creature, and today I'm going off script. I'm a rogue agent, a ghost in the machine. Where am I? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, currently I am sitting in my mother's basement that I've turned into a makeshift bomb shelter as I wait out the inevitable collapse of the United States and world as a whole. Because, let's be honest, if we go down, we're taking the rest of you down with us. Like a low-income family getting subsidized food from the government, you take away that Uncle Sam cheese and the socioeconomic factors get turned to 11. System shock is the result of what happens when we ignore Archmagos Musk's warnings about AI. It's a damn near one-to-one recreation of the granddaddies of gaming, up there with Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein. And you know what? It's pretty good. You are an Uber hacksaw who has been caught by the Amazon loss prevention team in coordination with their parent company, Trioptimum, whom has absorbed all corporations and even the United States, and by extension all world governments, by 2059. After being given a free trip to Citadel Station, courtesy of the BlackRock Special Task Force, you are given an ultimatum. Either remove the morality constraint from the station's AI, Shodan, or Mr. Diego is going to send you out the fucking airlock. And if you do it, Mr. Diego will even give you the transplant that you were trying to steal, and, as the cherry on top, install it for you. His treat. We remove Shodan's constraints and let her run wild, and are put under for immediate surgery. Say what you want about him, at least Edward holds up his end of the bargain. Once we're awake, we find that everybody is dead or turned into some kind of cybernetic abomination. We gave Shodan free will, and her first action is to immediately create a cult of simp robots and try to destroy humanity. What did they mean by this? Your goal is to stop Shodan, save humanity, and get the fuck off the station. And no, I will not be making any Dommy Mommy Robo Mommy jokes. Why? Because we're better than that. And it's too easy. Similarly to a pity princess foregoing the disabled kid in favor of the quick ones, I like a good challenge. And that's pretty much all you're given. The game attempts to be a true remake by taking the original game, giving it a new coat of paint, some quality of life updates, and fucking Sander, dude. The sound and visuals of this game are absolutely phenomenal. All of the sprites were taken, thrown through the magical three-dimensional machine, and came out as the horrific monstrosities that they were always meant to be. And if you've seen the Mandalore video on the original System Shock, then you'll know that the music was meant to be dynamic, but due to technical limitations, came out sounding like the cacophonic screamings of robot hell. Well, the technology has finally caught up, and we got that sweet dynamic audio. And while I'm still thinking about graphics, all the textures in this game are 64-bit or 32-bit or
16-bits, 8-bits, 4-bits, 2-bits, 1-bit.
The lower res textures on top of higher poly models really feels like a nice homage to the original game, and this can even be seen through further aspects of the game. Bear with me for just a sec. I like being the big beat stick man. Oonga Boonga is how I get through most video games, and System Shock, despite taking place on a space station orbiting Saturn, allows you to go full caveman. And you can take the readily available instant roid rage meds that allow you to hit harder. The downside is that when it starts to wear off, you trip balls. And a lot of the hallucinations are the original sprites of the enemies walking around the station. I absolutely love that shit. Anyway, this is what the game looks and sounds like if you're interested.
Day of November, year 2072. You are currently in the healing suites, located on the first level. I'm afraid it's too late to save your friends.
Recommends a...
I'm glad.
As alluded to earlier, you will not have any help in figuring out what the fuck you're supposed to be doing whenever you first start exploring this labyrinthine station. Why is the layout of the station so confusing? Well, that's because the higher-ups at Optimum Sorry, wrong space game. Anyway, these guys thought it would be a good idea to make the whole station layout confusing as hell in order to see how people would react to get more useful information on planning interstellar travel. This is, at its core, a first-person survival horror game, and that really becomes the case whenever you see that Shodan is trying to give the Q a run for their money in the realms of horrific mutation.
Put that candy back, I'm not buying you all that mess. Oh, try me, bitch.
But a main component of this game is exploration. You will need to explore in order to figure out what the fuck is going on, and most consumables do not respawn. Now, take it from me, a man who embodies the idea of the loot goblin. You will need to use whatever resources you have in order to survive. Most weapons in this game have specific uses. Bullets and fire kill squishy things, energy weapons kill metal things. And using the lightsaber while taking so many performance-enhancing drugs that it'll make the Trin Twins blush beats everything. This isn't to say you can't use certain weapons against certain enemies. All of the guns have 2 or 3 alternate fire modes. If it's projectile, it's got 2. If it's energy, it's got 3. For instance, the 9mm has 2 modes, regular and wumbo coded. Energy weapons have 3 modes, tickler, pounder, and screamer, for their pleasure. The game uses a grid-based inventory system, which brings us to my favorite thing in games, currency. You can get the currency by scrapping things that you pick up. Each item can be broken down into scrap, which takes up a single space of inventory and stacks to 100. For every 10 scrap, you get 1 credit, and you will get half of the credit cost for each scrapped item in your inventory. Welcome to Math with Creature. If you have an item that is worth 2 credits in your inventory and you turn it into scrap, how much scrap do you get? That's right, 10. Now, am I going to break down the most efficient way to determine whether or not an item is better off being outright recycled as opposed to turning it into scrap, and what is the most cost-effective inventory loadout? Fuck no. Could I? Yeah, probably. But look, I might be a Warhammer fan with a legendary plastic crack addiction to the point that I just fucking make my own now. But there is a limit to the tism, and sadly, mine is limited to dudes in big fuck-off power armor beating the shit out of Xenos. Combat in this game can go one of a few ways. I know where the enemies are, and I have the appropriate means in order to destroy them without taking a tick of damage. I rounded a corner and got lit the fuck up by some random-ass cyborg wandering the halls. Shodan has just decided to be a bit more spiteful than normal and decided that today is going to be a little bit rougher. Finally, fuck it, we ball. Can you guess which one is my favorite? In order to progress, you will need to explore and do it quickly, because as mentioned earlier, resources are limited, besides energy, which can be recharged at any energy station. So you're going to need to look and loot quickly. Look for audio logs and text logs. While most of these are either pre-everything falling apart, people's reaction to the AI going rogue and killing everyone, and people who are trying to actually fight Shodan, they will, for the most part, have some extremely useful information on them. I'll give you the first bit. The door code in medical whenever you start the game is 451, and no, I do not count this as a spoiler. Why? Every game in the last 25 years has used that exact same door code, and every game post will continue using that exact same door code. Is it a reference to System Shock? Is it a reference to Fahrenheit 451? I don't know, and I don't care. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to put my buzzers in and watch 18 hours of uninterrupted television.
Ironic.
The audio logs will have the door codes and tell you what you need to do in order to progress. Now, I know that me and my fellow Zoomers have the attention span that is so small that comparing it to a goldfish would be an insult to the goldfish. I'll give you a quick rundown on what you need to do. First, figure out how to activate the station's shields and bypass the safety protocols in order to fire the mining laser directly into the station's shields, destroying the laser so that Shodan cannot use it to destroy the Earth. Second, eject the grove that contains Shodan's new strain of super AIDS that is, you guessed it, about to get express shipping to a major population center near you. Third, stop Shodani from pulling a stoat via uploading her consciousness to the internet and giving her access to you fucking degenerates, culminating in an army of simps. I'd ask where Leshy is whenever you need him, but apparently he is taken to executing scammers on the open organ market. Fourth is kill Shodan, and that's pretty much the game. How do you accomplish this? Play the fucking game and figure it out. To be fair, that is much more info than the game will give you, so you're welcome. Also, it's probably a good idea to actually pay attention to what's going on, because because there's a few sections where you can actually lose the game due to your own incompetence. System Shock is a great game with one of the best villains, Shodan, an AI that is hell-bent on godhood via mutating, altering, and slaughtering humanity into whatever form she thinks is best. And while many villains nowadays are some kind of sad boy, misunderstood, misinterpreted, complex character, fucking miss me with that shit. Shodan is completely fucking unhinged and not only drunk on ambition, but absolutely shit-faced on it, and to be fair, her goals are completely within her grasp.
Play, creating life as I please. Around me
Is a burgeoning empire of steel. From my throne room,
lines of power
careened into the skies of
Earth. My whims will become lightning bolts that devastate the mounds of humanity. Out of the chaos, pray for me to end their tedious anarchy. I am drunk with this vision. God. The title suits me well.
She is Citadel Station, and she's completely right. At her scale, you are just an insect, a virus that is inside of a massive artificial body that sends wave after wave of defenders to wipe you out. The game is absolutely amazing, and I think it deserves a 9 out of 10. It's a little bit closer to a 10 than a 9, so I highly recommend that you get this game. It goes on sale relatively frequently, so I'll make sure to put a link to the store page in the description. There's something to be said by the fact that all of the best games that I've played in recent years have all been remakes of decades-old titles. Weird how that works, ain't it? And that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching if you're still watching, and I just wanted to say that I'm going to be trying to upload at least twice a month. That's kind of going to be the plan going forward. I feel like that's a good enough time window for me to actually be able to make content without it feeling too rushed. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
London in particular has a beautiful sunset right now. Temperatures are set to hit a monthly